you can say a tissue paper. Now after some time you will see you don't fill the glass. You fill the glass half with water, add sugar, add sand or this thing and milk. What you will find after some time, if you will tilt the glass, you will find that this sugar, the whole of the water will pass through it except sand particles. Why? Because this filter paper, it is not allowing all the material to pass through. It allows few material to pass through or few substances to pass through. So this is called selectively permeable. Permeable means to allow the substances to pass through. Selectively permeable means it is allowing few substances to pass through. So cell membrane or the plasma membrane is selectively permeable. It allows only few substances to pass through it. It doesn't allow all the substances to pass through it. Now students, the movement of water from the higher concentration to the lower concentration or the movement of water through the plasma membrane is called as osmosis. So if the water moves from the higher concentration to the lower concentration through plasma membrane, then it is called as osmosis. Now if you have any doubt, just ask from me. Please clarify your doubts. Now, again I will say, now students, actually we will see how the cell behaves in different types of solution. Now you take now water. If the surrounding solution is more concentrated than the plant or the animal cell, or if you keep the plant or the animal cell in the medium or in the solution which is more concentrated, which has got less amount of water, or you can take, I will give you the example, you again take sugar, you take water, add sugar in it. What you will do? You will add sugar in it. So that will become a surrounding, that will become a medium. Now in it you put a plant or an animal cell. Now if in the solution, if in that solution, if it is dilute, if it has more water, less sugar, and if you are keeping the living cell, plant or animal cell in it, what will happen? The solution has more water, less sugar. What will happen? Now we can say the concentration of water is more outside in the medium as compared to cell. So the water from that solution will move into the cell. Actually the water will also move out of the cell and water will also move inside the cell. But here the more water will move inside the cell. Why? Because it is dilute. The concentration of sugar solution in that the water is more. So water will move inside and the cell will swell. Such type of solution is called as hypotonic solution. What it is called? Hypotonic solution. The solution which is dilute, which has got more water as compared to the substance. Now isotonic solution. What is isotonic solution? If you take water in a glass and you add sugar. So if the water and sugar is same amount, let us say, and here if you keep a plant or an animal cell, what will happen? Water will neither enter and water will neither enter the cell and will not leave the cell. So cell will neither swell up and neither shrink. So this is called isotonic solution. Now if we keep a plant or animal cell in a solution where the sugar is more and the water is less, that type of solution is called as concentrated solution. The solution where the sugar is more, water is less. Now if you keep an animal or a plant cell there, what will happen? Water, I told you, water leaves the cell also, it enters the cell also. Now in this type of solution, in the concentrated solution, what will happen? Water will move, more water will move out of the cell. And the cell will lose water and the cell will shrink. Such type of solutions are called as hypertonic solutions. What are they called? Hypertonic solutions. So these are the two different types of solutions. And students, you can even do today and after the class, when you feel like, even you can do this experiment at home. Raisins, you all know what are raisins? Kishmish. Now you take one bowl and there you take water. Okay, add salt in it. Add lot of salt. Add salt in it, in such a way that the amount of salt is more as compared to this water, and keep that raisins in it or apricots in it. You will see that apricots or raisins will shrink, because now this solution is concentrated solution and raisins will lose water. And you must have also observed or you can even do after the class, take raisins or apricots and dip in water. Dip in water for some time. You will see that raisins, kishmish we say, that will swell up. Why? Because now you have kept it in water and it's a hypotonic solution. Don't add any sugar. If you want, you add very, very little sugar in it. So it is a hypotonic solution. What has happened? Now the water from that hypotonic solution has entered into the raisins and the raisins have swollen. Just please try this one. Now children, this we are talking about plasma membrane. Now plasma membrane, it is very flexible. You know, rubber band, that is also flexible. So just because of its flexibility, amoeba, which is a single cell organism, can engulf its food. Now plasma membrane is made up of lipids, which are a type of fats, and proteins. Now after that we come to another important structure which is present in the cell, that is cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Children, you can see in the structure of the cell in that above image, the region between the cell membrane and the nucleus is what the genetic material is written, that is called as the cytoplasm. It is a fluid substance, semi-fluid substance, which is present in the cell, and most of the organelles are present in the cytoplasm, and generally most of the organelles, they are membrane bound, means they are covered by a membrane. Even again, you just go back and check the slide of check the image of this thing, onion cells. Here also, if you see, I think very easily you will know where is cytoplasm. You can see blue color, that is picked up by the plasma membrane. In the center, you will see one blue dot. Now you can see white region, that blue dot which you are seeing in the center, that is actually the nucleus, and you know the blue outline, that is plasma membrane. So where is cytoplasm present? That is present between the nucleus and the cell membrane. So that whitish thing portion, that is actually the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm contains other important organelles also. Now after cytoplasm, membrane bound organelles. Now after cytoplasm, we come to another important structure of the cell, and that is nucleus. You can see here in the picture of cell, nucleus. Children, nucleus contains genetic material. You can see certain rod shaped structures which are called as chromosomes, that is present in the center of the cell, and this nucleus which you can see in the center, that is surrounded by the membrane. It is surrounded by double membrane. There is a double membrane, and this double membrane is called as nuclear membrane, and this nuclear membrane contains pores, small pores. I hope all of you have located nucleus. In the center, can you see? That is the nucleus, and outside nucleus is also covered by a membrane, nuclear membrane, which has got pores. Inside the nucleus is present the rod-shaped structures which are called as chromosomes. These chromosomes are made up of DNA. And what is the function of chromosomes? It transfers hereditary information or genetic information from the parents to the child. Suppose if mother is having blue eyes, if mother is tall, then child can also has blue eyes and can be tall. So this is called genetic information. And how it is transferred? It is transferred through the DNA of the chromosomes. Now when the cell is not dividing, suppose if cell is not dividing in the body, our body, you know, all the cells are dividing. Cells, they divide. That is why they are replaced. So in a non-dividing cells, actually what happens? The chromosomes, here the chromosomes are rod-shaped, but in the non-dividing cells, what happens? The chromosomes, they are in the form of a thread-like structure, which is called as chromatin. What it is called, children? It is called as chromatin. Now, this nucleus, it mostly contains the genetic information. And again you can see here, again children, you can also see again this image of onion peel. You can see in the center that blue dots are there. What are those what are those dots? Dark colored dots. Those are actually the nucleus. Again, you can also do one thing, that you take one spoon, you take plastic or wooden spoon and scratch the cheek, inside of the cheek, and that thing you view under the, keep on the slide, glass slide, keep on the glass slide. Then you add one stain which is pink in color, methylene blue, and cover it with a cover slip. So we can say the temporary mount of cheek cells are ready, and you see it under the microscope. You will see such type of cells which is shown in the diagram, the cheek below the nucleus. So these are the human cheek cells. Here you can see the dark structure in the center, that is the nucleus, and there is the plasma membrane and the cytoplasm also. So the nucleus can be seen in the human cheek cells. Now children, in some organisms, what happens, I told you earlier also, the nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear membrane, the double membrane. Now in some cases, what happens in some organism, that nuclear membrane is not there. That genetic material, that is the chromosomes, it lies open in the cytoplasm. And those type of cells are called as prokaryotic cells. And even in prokaryotic cells, I told you in the cytoplasm certain organelles are present. So even in the prokaryotic cell, those organelles are not surrounded by the membrane. In the eukaryotic cell, in which cell? In eukaryotic cells or in certain organisms, the cell is bounded by the nucleus is bounded by a membrane, nuclear membrane. And in the cytoplasm, organelles are also present which are bounded by a membrane. Such type of cells are called eukaryotic cells. What are they called? Eukaryotic cells. So students, today we will do till here. Rest we will continue in the next class. Please, my homework mainly, as you know, is that please revise whatever is taught to you today. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Now children, before just winding up, I would like to ask few questions from you. I will call out the name of the students and those students will give me the answers. Question number 1. Why cell is called basic and fundamental unit of life? You can WhatsApp the answer. Why cell is called basic and fundamental unit of life? This answer, conchyvalence. Conky, just write the answer to this question. Question number 2. Others, you also write. Question number 2. Nandini, you will WhatsApp me the answer. What are these components like structures seen in onion peel? What are these structures called? What are these structures? Question number 3. Muskan, does rat have small size cells as compared to elephant? Justify your answer. Question number 4. Christina Sharma, how is osmosis different from diffusion? How is osmosis different from diffusion? Question number 5. Akash, what is the composition of plasma membrane? Last question, Christina Medhi. Write 2 differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. You can WhatsApp the answers to me. Now I will tell you the answer first. Why cell is called as the basic and fundamental unit of life? Because cell is a living organism. Cell is a living structure, and it is the base. Why it is called as the basic and fundamental unit of life? Why cell is called as the basic and fundamental unit? Because all the living organisms are composed of this minor, the smallest structure called as cell, and this cell is living. That is why we all are living. So living organisms are mainly composed of cells. That is the basic, the smallest structure which is present in the cell, in the living organism. And this cell, it is living organism. Most of the functions are carried by the organelles of the cell, and our body is made up of all the cells. That is why it is the basic and the fundamental unit. What are these compartment-like structures seen in the onion peel? These compartment-like structures are actually the cells. Does rat has a small size cells as compared to elephants? No. Rat and the size of the cells of rat and elephants is similar, but elephant has more cells as compared to rat. How is osmosis different from diffusion? Osmosis, it is the movement of water from the higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through the plasma membrane. But diffusion, it is the movement of substances from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. It is not the movement of water, and in diffusion there is no membrane. So it is the movement of substances from the region of higher concentration to the lower concentration is free. What is the composition of plasma membrane? Plasma membrane is composed of lipids and proteins. Write 2 differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In prokaryotes doesn't have a membrane bound nucleus. Nuclear membrane is absent, and it doesn't have a membrane bound organelles. Whereas in eukaryotes it has a nuclear membrane, nucleus has a nuclear membrane, and most of the organelles are membrane bound. So students, just revise it, and thank you. Thanks a lot.